Nice and slow.
Alright, let's continue our Pillars of Eternity playthrough. And we are going to be working on cleaning up these last few quests before we head to the last area. We're at the Abbey of the Fallen Moon. We got various doors to go in, so we're going to start here and go in this door and see what's in here. All the doors may be connected, they may be separate rooms, I have no idea. I went ahead and got the game past the initial load screen that takes like 30 seconds, just so that we didn't have to sit through it.
Sure.
This area's forbidden. I'll be going then. Okay. I want to try and avoid fighting as much as possible. No, I don't want to... I'm not a wanton killer. So I'm just going to poke my head in the various doors and then we'll see. I know which door to go in to progress the storyline. Okay, so... So it's just a matter of figuring out, can I go in any of the doors, or are they all going to shoo me out without, you know, attacking? Good music. I like the music. Very soothing.
Even with your labors, your presence of mind never falters. I don't know how you do it.
Perhaps your thoughts would swim deeper if your tongue didn't come out for air so often, dear brother.
Okay, it looks like we can go here.
I'll see what I can find.
So let's explore. We're in the Halls of Presence. That's stairs down. I wonder if that's... I think that would be stairs down to the Halls of Silence, which is where I was at and I got shooed out from. Yep, that confirms it. Halls of Silence. Okay. We may check that out.
The High Abbot imparted to me that I wasn't alone. That he has nightmares sometimes as
Despite
well.
the warmth of the fires that they
Truly?
layer, Frost clings to the store supplies.
It surprised me to hear it. He has such a...
I'll see what I can do.
I never
The
knew.
work of a moment.
Did you hide in the White March after that?
Kind of crappy.
As far away as I could. The Dominels didn't care I was a gift bearer. Evidence is evidence.
Let's go this way. Let's keep going this way just to get the boundaries out. Okay, see, this is the main area that I need to go to, I think, because this is the door in. The craftsmanship that gave form to the statue appears too skilled and refined to come from mere mortal hands.
You are a guest, I take it? You will find the abbot past the chamber of the fallen moon, behind me.
There's some stairs up to the reliquary. That's actually where I have to go, I believe, if I remember right from the journal. Find out how to reach the reliquary. Find out how to call off the army. There's another door there. Well, let's finish exploring this level, and then we'll figure out where to go next.
Smells like an ocean breeze. We've got to be close.
This is the record?
Yes. See that it is cast away with the others.
Some new books. Some I have, some I have not. I always open the books up, even though I don't read them. If I read all the books I received, I would literally have an additional 20 hours to the game. Good world building, but I'm not interested in spending 20 additional hours when the game's gone on this long. I'm gonna wait to go here until I explore that path, because seems like they may connect with the whole coming for the Tide Bearer thing. It makes sense. Plus I have this area to look at.
You should see this.
That's why it always pays to sneak. You never know where there's going to be a trap on the floor or on a box. Or something like that, a hidden item. Okay, let's head back here. It's possible this connects to this and loops around. I'm not sure yet. It's hard to tell whether the main altar
Good thing I sold
in the
most of my
abbot
jewelry.
area meshes into that, or what. Why is he doing his own thing? That's kind of weird. And not appreciated. Wolfie, stay of your pack.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
Let's go ahead and save game. I don't want to do things out of order if it's going to break the quest, so let's just save. It may be that after I do something, I get a key for that. Or it could just be a treasure room. We'll see. Looks like treasure room is the answer. Get out. They didn't detect the trap. That sucks.
I'll take a look.
Okay, this is storyline related. This volume appears to serve many functions. There are notes in it detailing schedules and routines at the Abbey. There are favorite passages from Andrite texts and annotated with personal insights. There are also descriptions of dreams. Many seem purely symbolic, but one entry is of interest. It has been long since I dreamt of my rising. Yet now, with another rising soon upon us, this is the 5th time in a week. Perhaps channeled here, I can put it to rest. I'm walking through the halls of silence. I feel eyes on me from all sides, angry, vengeful eyes. I arrange the panels and curl my hands into the sign of the tide. The right is the wave, the left tracing the crescent moon with my 2 outer fingers. The way opens to me. I climb the steps and Andros Witness is installed there, the old aspergillum, set to operate the valves. I use it like a lever and the water rises. There are angry shouts, and when I cover my ears they are louder still. But the water continues upward, far past where it should. I climb as high as I can, but I feel it icy on my feet. Then it is over my head and I cannot breathe. Suddenly I am outside the reliquary, looking at the Veil of Tears. The witness is in my hand and the veil parts for it. I step through to the one place in the Abbey I feel protected. Only when I pass inside, I come out in total darkness. I call for help. I'm shouting and screaming for help. There is no answer. I stop. I sit there in the dark, waiting for what seems like ages. Then I realize I don't know who I am. Taxes collected. Alright.
They call out sometimes. Even the guards below think it's strange.
For
That's
Andra,
to the
most
Hall of
likely.
Silence as well.
They surely long for her embrace.
I'll have it in no time.
Forgive me, Tidebringer, but it's not in my power to allow you to pass. You will need the High Abbot's consent. Okay.
Keeping an eye out.
So, Halls of Silence. Halls of Silence. There's doors out. There's a door to the reliquary. Stairs to the reliquary. Ramparts of the Abbey. It's going pretty good, Mega Dave. How are you doing, man? I'm wrapping up DLC 2 at the moment. Well, wrapping up to my knowledge. Only a few quests left. So I'm exploring the Abbey of the Fallen Moon. Yeah, it's if you like the old style isometric RPGs, CRPGs like Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, this fits right into the mold. Which I do enjoy those style games. Just games of my youth, or at least my 20s. But, yeah, I like a good RPG. I'm getting older now. I don't have the twitch reflexes to keep up with kids and their fast reflexes on a lot of multiplayer online games. So, and I've always liked a variety of games, and RPGs are up there. Always enjoyed a good RPG.
Smells fresh. That can't be the salt well.
Alright, this is a named person to talk to, so let's talk to him. The gift bearer holds in her hand a gem the size of a fist. She draws a curved line in the air over it, then tosses it into the water. As the gem hits the water, it disappears from sight, as though it had dissolved. What happened to that gem? What gem? The gem you tossed into the pool. I remember no gem. Oh, they probably, once they give a gift to the waters or to Andra, they can no longer recall it, willingly or unwillingly. You tossed it in. How could you have forgotten? This pool is blessed by Andra, Tidebringer. I don't understand. The gift bearer smiles placidly. All that belongs to Andra is forgotten, and all things forgotten belong to Andra. She stares into the pool entranced.
I'll take a look.
Okay, I'm heading towards the abbot, wherever the abbot is.
He seemed preoccupied.
I expect I would be too in his position.
Alright, man. Enjoy food. A thin film of iridescent dust floats on the calm surface of the waters, obscuring its depths. Okay, so the abbot must be up in here. Alrighty. A massive crystal with its jagged edges iridescent with an unearthly glow pierces through the dome. Mosaics and tiles have been carefully arranged around the strange rock. Let's save our game. It's been a little bit of exploring and doing things. Don't want to lose progress. High Abbot Keodo. Where the other Andrites in the Abbey are clad in drab, functional garments, this Amawa seems dressed for an occasion. His robe is bright and glossy. His neck and arms are bedecked with jewelry. The symbols of his goddess are crowded into every available space.
Ah, good. The Conclave has elected a Tidebringer after all. I had begun to worry.
He looks back up, noticing your company, and nods.
And they took my advice in providing you an escort. Very good. I am sorry I could not make your journey easier.
Pretend to be the Tidebringer is going to end up blowing up in my face, and I'm going to have to kill everybody. I just know it.
I am Kauto, the High Abbot.
Now that I'm here, what is it you wish of me?
Surely the Conclave gave you some explanation of your charge.
He eyes you curiously.
But of course, they sent you abroad in dangerous lands. The less you were told, the less we risked. You are here to perform the Rising. And once that is done, you will take my place here. When you are ready, we will begin with the recitation.
How are you so certain I'm the Tidebringer?
If you were not, you would be the first person to stumble across this place in all my years here. Andra protects us in this place. The faithful who stand guard here do it in her honor, not because we are vulnerable.
He looks at you sidelong.
You are our Tidebringer, aren't you?
I don't... Let's just keep the lie going. Why tell the truth now when I know I'm going to have to kill them all if I tell the truth? I'm trying to... It's a lie of salvation. I'm saving me from having to kill... I'm saving them from having me kill them. Of course, why would I have come to this place?
Andra, forgive me for saying so, but the reasons are difficult to fathom. The land here can be cruel indeed.
About the... how did you become the High Abbot?
I was elected by the Conclave, as you were. But you already knew that much. It was unexpected. There were others more accomplished. I was merely a scholar. But they each had their faiths called into question. and no one could find cause to doubt mine.
He smiles proudly, exposing for the first time yellowed, worn teeth. He seems conscious of your gaze and quickly hides them again.
It was such an honor to become one of Andra's most trusted servants. It was hardly a choice at all.
The Conclave mentioned something about a reliquary?
Yes, of course. I would not pass my station to you without passing that knowledge as well. It is the Abbey's most sacred chamber. When the rising is complete, I will take you there myself. In fact, the ritual demands it.
About the recitation.
You seem nervous. The Conclave chose you for a reason. For a devout follower of Andra, the answers will flow naturally to you. I remember my own rising. The Conclave sent me on the same exhausting journey. When it came time for the recitation, I could not remember a word. But it all came back in time. Our goddess smiles upon the forgetful.
He taps a large golden ring with a wave insignia as though it were proof.
Our library is open to you, as are the grounds outside. There is a beautiful mural out there that you should see, if you haven't yet. And you may, of course, speak with the gift bearers here, if it helps your recollection. Take your time, and examine these things before your recitation.
What if I fail?
Do not be afraid to fail. A lapse here or there is to be expected. But do take care in your work. Even my patience has limits.
Farewell. Okay, so let me finish exploring before... That's the High Abbot's key. Can't steal it right in front of him. Well, I could try, but I'd rather not. Okay, so we've explored most of these places. I don't have to sneak at this point. There's the Hall of Silence and there's the Reliquary. 2 entrances to the Hall of Silence. 1 to the Reliquary. Okay, and this, I've already been here. This must be a secret entrance to the top of the Abbey. So, when I tried going into the Hall of Silence, they rebuked me. So let me just, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3 doors, and then there should be 2 upper level doors for, well, 2 lower level doors for Halls of Silence. Let's make sure we've gone through and that there's no secret treasure vaults or whatever. Let's just count the doors from the outside. Make sure we've gone in all the entrances. So the Halls of Silence were closed to me. Now that I've spoken to the High Abbot, maybe they won't be closed to me anymore. We'll check. Okay, so there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. There must be one of the Halls of Silence must lead out up onto this balcony. Okay, let's see what the quest says. Enter the Halls of Silence. Find out how to call off the army. The door is sealed shut. Okay. Inspect the mural. First panel, and through the end. So the end, the flood, the ebb, the beginning. The end, the flood, the ebb, the beginning. The end, the flood, the ebb, the beginning. Let's see if they'll let us in the Halls of Silence now. End flood. Wait. Is that right? God, I hate my memory being such shit. The end, the flood, the ebb, the beginning. Okay. Okay, so it does look like it's allowing me in the Halls of Silence now, perhaps.
Keeping an eye out.
A thin layer of frost sparkles over the store of bread and cabbages. Those are crap.
That's unusual.
I'll be going then. Okay, so if they spot me, they will kick me out. That's good to know. That's if they spot me. So let's go back in the main hall and check the Hall of Silence stairs and see what the deal is. If we can sneak around any better via the stairs. Just verify one more time, because I'm the end, the flood, the ebb, the beginning. Okay, I got it. I got it. I swear. We're going to check both stairs for the Halls of Silence, and then we'll check the Reliquary. Saving our game each time in case... Because if I enter the Reliquary and I'm not supposed to, you know, who knows if I'll turn the whole place aggro with me. And I don't want to mass kill people. It's not like I'm Charles Manson, the Paladin here. I mean, I'll kill them if I have to, don't get me wrong. I'll do what I have to. But I would rather load my game if I end up making them all hate me and aggro me to see if there's a better way of doing it.
And if I find something good, you can have half.
I'll have it in no time. The work of a moment.
Alright, so they're standing guard there, so I wouldn't be able to get out of the entryway anyways, because it looks like those guys are stationary guards. And so the fireworks begin. Our doggy does not like fireworks. It scares the bejesus out of her, terrorizes her. New Year's and 4th of July are always really fun days for us, just because the dog panics. Which, you know, there's a couple good internet memes that always come out around New Year's and 4th of July, where it shows a dog with a panicked look on its face, and it's like it's having war flashbacks. You know, kind of like the dogs have PTSD or whatever. And, you know, all the fireworks remind them of, you know, various doggy wars or something. Okay, so this is also to the Halls of Silence. I want to at least get the DLC done today so I can start at least tomorrow focusing on...
Whew, good thing I sold most of my jewelry.
Focusing on finishing the game up, the last couple non-DLC quests related to the end game.
Mind your center. You always knew this time would come.
I've seen the other side, brother. I'll find its waters again, warm and soothing.
Alright, so the guards will stop me in the Halls of Silence. It might be something related to the ritual. Maybe the abbot will take me to the Halls of Silence and allow me passage. I don't know. We'll see. Because the Halls of Silence is a pretty big area that's obviously cordoned off. And reliquary is right here. Actually, let's go to the library first. The abbot said something about the library, which I think I looted the books related. Let me check anyways. Yeah. I probably should read some of those books I picked up prior to me trying to recite whatever and do a ritual and all sorts of other shite. Okay, let's save our game before we go up here. Don't want to make everybody pissed. Don't want to have to slaughter everybody. Almost 93 hours playtime so far. It'll be nice to be done with it. Focus on Hollow Knight, finish that, and then figure out what I'm going to play next. Since I only stream about 2.5 hours, you know, Monday through Thursday, and then some on the weekends or on Friday, depending on life, schedule, etc. It has taken quite a while.
A long time ago that was.
Beat this.
Saw the abbot holding the witness, and the veil of tears parted for him.
Okay, so this is the area. So the reliquary, I obviously can't make it through that. But it's something that the abbot will get me through, as long as I do the ritual correctly. You know what, I might as well top them off and re-up their damage reduction buff from the campfire. This place has been throwing campfires at me. Okay. So let's head back to the abbot. We'll look at some of those books very briefly. Probably can tell from the title which ones are related to the ritual and the reciting. The end, the flood, the ebb, the beginning. End, flood, ebb, beginning. EFEB. End, flood, ebb, beginning. My memory is just so bad. I gotta keep it fresh, or else I'll lose it, and then I'll be like, what am I supposed to do again? Okay, so let's look at the books. Is it quest items? I would. Gift Bearer's Pilgrimage. Okay, that's not it. Yeah, there's Gift Bearer Notebook. Okay, I don't think it's a quest item. It would be a book. Okay, I don't really see anything much. Okay, let's wing it. We'll save, and if we fuck it up, we'll just reload. I think if they ask about the mural thing, I've got it. End, flood, ebb, beginning. Let's strategically place our guys and prep for killing these guys if it proves I have to kill them. Put them right. Put him right there. Hey. Him right there. Him right there.
What?
Him right there. Actually, he could stay in the back. We'll put him up there. Okay, save our game. Let's see if we can get this recitation done.
Are you prepared now for the recitation?
We can begin the recitation.
Very good. We shall commence the rising. First is Anthu. Last is Dianthu. For the tide comes at the end and leaves at the beginning. I am Disaman the Ebb. Who comes this way?
Okay, so it's end, flood, ebb, beginning. I am Saman the Flood.
Blessed be Saman, that washes over the shore and brings the end. Blessed be Disaman, that returns to the sea and leaves behind the beginning. A gift bearer comes to Disaman and asks him to bear his burdens away. What token do you offer, gift bearer?
I'm just going to keep doing the lore options. The lore options seem to be picking the right answers. I give myself, for a gift bearer has no other tokens to offer.
The token is received in Andra's name. Tell me of your burdens.
I have none, for all that belongs to Andra is forgotten.
In Andra's embrace, our burdens are lifted.
Kaoda appears pleased. He nods. Minea sighs with relief.
The Tidebringer shows himself worthy of his charge. Your purpose here, Tidebringer, is to perform the ceremony of the Rising. It is the transition of one phase of service to the next. On the level beneath us in the Halls of Silence, our low-tide brothers and sisters have lived for many years, sealed by their own will. It is time for them to be relieved of service, and for the high-tide brothers and sisters here to take their place.
In the halls below, you will find a relic, Andra's Witness, an aspergillum for dispensing holy water, but also something more.
The device will flood the Halls of Silence. This is the Rising.
Won't the people down there drown?
It is the will of Andra. Every monk assigned to the Abbey understands and accepts this.
He smooths back his thick stalks of hair with one hand. A gray strand sticks to his palm. He frowns on it, then looks back up and continues.
The monks here have all served as gift bearers. We bear away people's most painful memories, and always a part of them remains with us.
He's right about that much.
Mahana shrugs at you.
In the Halls of Silence, memory itself fragments until it is no more. The halls are a reprieve from a gift-bearer's burden.
He nods.
In the end, the halls take all memory, but the process takes a toll, as you might imagine. After many years, when the process is complete, the rising is performed, to give final peace to those who dwell there. This is your charge.
What do I do when the rising is complete?
The high tide is to replace the low, and stand vigil in the halls of silence until the next rising. When you have completed the rising, bring Andra's witness to me here. I will show you the last of what you need to know.
Once I have Andra's witness, what do I do with it?
The device it operates is a simple valve mechanism. It will be clear to you when you see it.
Dying immediately seems preferable to losing all memory in the halls of silence, only to drown later.
It goes beyond that. It is about duty as well. The Abbey is one of Andra's most guarded secrets. Death is no guarantee our knowledge will fade safely. It is necessary that the memories of this place be washed away. We do this in Andra's service.
The Amaua notices an age spot on his arm as he gestures. He licks a finger and rubs at it like a smudge. I will return once the rising is complete.
To reach your destination, you will need to know the sign of the tide, which is kept only by the High Abbot. It's said that it is the first knowledge lost when the Abbot joins the low tide in the halls of silence. Watch carefully.
Kato contorts the fingers of his right hand into a particular curl shape. Then, with his left hand, he traces an arc from center to end, simultaneously with his index and little finger.
I trust you will perform your duty, Tidebringer.
Right.
Okay, so halls of silence, here I come. See if we can get in this door yet. Oh, now I can enter. Good.
And what does the flame reveal?
Worth a look.
It's not a bad ring. Let's see if that's an upgrade for him. That's kind of a crap ring.
It's here. The salt well.
In the room is a pool. It's small but deep enough that you can't see the bottom. The glassy surface almost looks frozen. So does Manea. She stands rooted in place, staring at it.
You know, I thought it'd be bigger.
Looks deep anyways.
Gift bearers say the heaviest regrets and greatest sorrows get left here. So it better be.
What are you waiting for? Manea makes a little noise of frustration in the back of her throat.
You know how when you've been thinking about something so long, you're worried that when you finally get it, it won't be what you expected?
She tugs at one of her bracelets.
I mean, for all we know, that thing's just filled with leeches.
You're stalling.
Don't remind me.
You were never liable for the massacre you remember. Let go of your guilt. Your memory of the massacre has shaped you. Discard it may change you more than you intend. Memory is a penance for our misdeeds. You have no right to forget the massacre. What if your memory of the massacre has prevented you from committing a similar crime? Your suffering helps no one. Forget the massacre so that you can have peace. The problem has never been your memory. It's the part of your soul that led you to massacre those people. What if your memory of the massacre has prevented you from committing a similar crime? Let me do that.
That was my soul, but it wasn't me. I was a different person, shaped by a different past. I don't think I could do anything so awful now.
Her hands are clenched in front of her and her brows furrowed in determination. Despite it all, she sounds like she's asking a question. You said before that you could feel the rage that drove your past self. How can you be sure you aren't capable of similar violence? And this memory has shaped you and taught you restraint. Without it, you might choose differently. Let's do number one. She lets out a long, slow breath.
I was afraid you'd say something like that.
She stares at the well for several seconds.
My parents always said that anything that seems too good to be true probably is. You spend so much time searching for a way to fix what's broken. You don't see that the fixing Would only break something else.
She kicks a pebble into the pool. It falls in without so much as a ripple.
Only one thing left to do.
Listen. Minea pulls a rolled cloth bundle out of her pack. You recall seeing it earlier. She snaps the leather cords that bind it and unfolds it to reveal a wine bottle.
Took this from the Marcheso cellar the night I was awakened. One of the finest vintages there. Been saving it to celebrate my new start. I think it's time to open it.
She jams a knife into the cork and twists it out with a squeaking pop. A lush, jammy aroma wafts from the bottle. She holds it under her nose and breathes deeply. She puts the bottle to her lips and tilts it back. After a long, slow drink, she smacks her lips.
A few years past its peak. Good thing we're enjoying it now.
She swirls the wine in the bottle before holding it out to you. Take a drink.
The best burdens are the ones you share.
Minea passes you the bottle. An unpleasant sharpness has crept into the wine, but it's an enjoyable draught all the same. Together, you finish the bottle.
Time to make some good memories.
Minea was granted satisfied mind. She wipes her mouth with the back of her hand.
I'm here.
What is suppressed memories? That must be a passive. Or satisfied mind. To resolve. Okay. Good to know. Okay.
Will do.
No. Stop.
Nice and quiet.
Hey, how you doing, Tipsy Flipper? You been good, man? Like a living prison, thick arms of coral have grown around an assortment of... Oh, I get it. The Superman shirt. Yeah. The wife doesn't like my self-deprecating humor, which is my main type of humor. I always I'll refer to myself as a super fat man in front of her. You know, it's just fat joke. I'm allowed since I am. I know. And let's pick the locks. See what's inside.
What?
One-handed club. None of my characters in this particular party use clubs.
You can trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much now. I need to shave. This weekend I'll shave. I've been meaning to do it for a couple weekends now, and just something always gets in the way. Mostly my laziness. Yes, I am a hair farm. I trim it, sell it for money, and then regrow it. It's almost harvest season. Okay, so Halls of Silence is where we go now. Plenty of hair here, thinning up top. Yeah, I've always had very thin hair. Well, thin as in literally thin and fine, and now it's just, thin, fine, and thinning on top of it. But that's the price I pay for, price that's paid for getting old. Most men go through it. Exactly. I may be, thin up top, but damn, it grows. It's my Italian heritage. It just grows really fast. Alright. So they should let me... This area is forbidden. Keota granted me leave to walk freely. So it begins. You may continue, Tidebringer. Good. Be warned, the low tide has been in the Halls of Silence for a long time. Their minds are not sound. Your presence may provoke them.
Margren's fire casts light in dark.
Oh, everywhere. Shoulder, back, chest, ear. I get these almost invisible, translucent, inch-long white hairs that spring up out of nowhere. I don't notice them till they're like an inch long. They out of my eyebrow. I have one that comes out of the middle of my forehead. It's like, Jesus, the middle of my forehead? Really? It's not like there can be a follicle root or anything in there, but just part of getting old. Strange shit starts happening. Curve finders, yeah. I don't have too terrible an issue of hair coming out of my ear, though. Nostrils are an issue. Everything's an issue. I'm just a hairy beast. Everywhere but the top of my head, of course. That thins. Everywhere except where I want it to grow. Okay. The massive coppery bones encased under the ice seems to be part of the hip of a giant dragon. Okay, so I'm gonna keep exploring this direction. There was some loot over here I couldn't get earlier when they didn't let me in. Max endurance bonuses, crap. I already got that room, so let's head out here.
Make sure they receive extra. I'll not let them fall into the goddess's embrace with empty stomachs.
Their supplies are bountiful, sister. I have seen to it.
It's kind of an interesting premise, this whole Fallen Moon Andrite temple. They keep it secret by drowning the old guard, and then when it's time, the new guard moves into the lower levels in preparation for the next drowning, and the cycle begins anew. Thereby and this lower level has an effect on people's memories to make them forget. So it's really kind of an interesting premise. It's a cycle of death and life and rebirth and all that mumbo jumbo. Okay, it looks like I'm at a point where I feel secure in saving my game again. Halls of Silence entered, no fighting. Yeah. I'll admit this, I've never actually seen more than a few minutes here or there of Lion King, and it's just one of the movies I've never actually seen from beginning to end. I know that's like heresy or something, but I don't know, just the way it is. Everybody has movies they've missed watching in life, and that's one of mine. An acrid and pungent smell climbs up from the depths of this pit. Let's go over here. Can I go in here? Yes, but there doesn't seem to be anything to it. Let's explore the right side. The store is sealed shut. Gonna explore the soul there in a second. Just want to get the surroundings out of the way. Instill doubt. Foes dazed for 20 seconds accuracy. Let's see what Ring C's using. 2 first level spell uses, 2 third level spell uses. 10% ability area of effect. He doesn't use a lot of area effect spells. Let's replace that. There.
Yeah.
Hovering over a skeleton half trapped in ice, a faint trace of essence lingers in the cold air of the cavern. Reach out to the essence. You let your soul envelop the essence. Memories spread in a thin mist under you, dim and torn, their scattered fragments floating like motes of dust in the twilight. You're walking into an oblong chamber. The stones of its underground walls glisten, still wet from the floodwaters. A hand clasps you on your shoulder. You hear her whisper, "Anthric, I don't want to look." The memory vanishes, and now all you see is a slab of stone. You're staring at it just inches away from the wall. Your fingers trace circles on it, digging into the moss that clings on its weathered surface. You're not sure how long you've been touching it. Perhaps you've always been. A scream jolts you. Its echoes thunder throughout the halls. Your ears hurt, a pain that digs deep, burrowing into your head like a twisted dagger. You run. Others run. You don't know them. You can't remember them. But somehow you take comfort in their presence. Yes, they will help you with the pain, the noise. You'll kill it. The anger of the memory subsides, and now you're sitting down on steps carved on rock. Dozens of skeletons lie below, beneath frozen water, their jaws hanging open, silent. Yet what's that? A low rumble, gargling, growing deafening. You snap your head to the side in anguish and see it, the water rushing down the halls, pushing you in a torrent of white foam. You fall, your mouth opens to shout, but your screams are muffled as it fills with water. That's the low tide taking over. Waste, Juggernaut. 1.8 move speed while endurance above 75%, 21 interrupt while endurance below 75%. It's interesting. Let's take a look and see what people have for belts. Okay, we're not replacing his. Of Constitution 3, that might not be bad. Of Constitution 3, of Might 3, Clarity. Okay, we're not getting rid of that. That's good defenses. We're not getting rid of that. So probably either hers or his. Probably hers. Interrupt, speed and interrupt would be good for her to have.
Yeah.
Nice and quiet.
Okay, let's finish exploring down here. So you see all the people buried under the ice. I guess every time the low tide is done, the cycle, it gets frozen over at the end. Okay, there's a way out there. We'll come back to that. That's how we'll leave, unless there's multiple ways out.
Let's go!
Dead on!
Let's go!
Dead on!
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, it automatically put them in the stash. Okay. Despite the icy sheen that covers these webs, their threads gently vibrate at the slightest disturbance. Okay, so let's head back up here. We'll just remember on the way out to go that way. Cliffs of the Abbey. There might be treasure or something.
Slow and silent.
Probably a good idea to save again before we have to do any sort of ritual or anything. Well, we're just here to get the what's essentially the holy water dispenser. To be honest, killing these people seems like it would be a mercy. Clumps of moss frozen under a layer of slick and green slime build up between the cut stones. Let's wait before we go in there. Finish exploring these various areas. Okay, so it looks like we're ready to go in here.
Right.
Oh. The noise is making them aggro. Oh, well, I guess I don't have a choice.
Let's get a good shot with this.
Let's go.
I didn't want to kill him, but they didn't give me a choice, really.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see what's ahead.
So essentially they've gone a bit mad from the silence. The door's sealed shut.
Who's there?
Okay, so that guy's named, so I could talk to him probably. Let's go talk to him first. So far, things seem to be going acceptably. Let's keep that going and let's save. Tufts of downy gray hair sprout from the back of this man's scalp like shrubs. His lower lip curls inward over a row of teeth that appear to have mostly fallen out, and a musty odor hangs about him like a fog.
Is that you, Edith? I thought I'd lost you. I called for you. I wanted to search, but the blizzard lasted days. I'm so sorry.
Jumped the gun a little there. He extends a hand in a gesture of apology, but then the fingers curl and he draws it back. He squints as if trying to see you better.
But wait. We did find you. When the thaw finally came, I saw you rigid, frozen. You cannot be Edith. No, we are in the Abbey. Gift bearers. And you must be the Tidebringer.
Well, let's keep the lie going. I've gone this far with it. Correct, I am the Tidebringer.
Then listen well, Tidebringer. Kauto does not know what he asks. Nor did I, when I performed the Tidebringer's duties so long ago. The Halls of Silence. They take our minds, memory by memory. It would be peaceful, we were told, like going to sleep. Look around you. We, the low tide, who have been sealed down here all these many years, do we seem at peace to you? We are lost, terrified.
Who are you?
No one has asked me in I don't know how long. Who was I? I was the High Abbot, wasn't it? High Abbot. Ferentis. That was me. Or the one before me, if not. No longer, though. I am just another brother of the low tide. I remember a woman. Was she my wife? She had curls in her hair, and she spoke softly. What became of her?
She dead.
I carry so many memories that I took from strangers who wanted to be rid of them. I don't know what's mine anymore. And there are so many holes. Every image a blur or a void. Would that I could be free of this place. Free to make new memories. To know who I am.
What is it that the Tidebringer is meant to do?
The Tidebringer comes to replace the High Abbot. The ritual is called... It is called... The Rising. Yes, we carry so many memories. Tragic or dangerous, some. We live above for a time, devoted to Andra. Then we come here to forget it all. Wash our souls clean of the memories. When it is done, a Tidebringer is summoned. Those above, the high tide, they become the low tide. It means they are brought here to the halls of silence.
It's kind of like enforced Alzheimer's that the low tide has to go through.
But not before the old low tide are removed, drowned in a flood, and swept away. The Rising.
You did not choose to be here?
Did we? We did. We chose it when we thought it was our duty, and that it would be peaceful.
Death is never peaceful.
But the more we forget, the less we understand. Every day something familiar becomes strange. If I had known, I'd never have accepted my assignment to the Abbey. Nor would many, I suspect.
He made his choice when he was of sound mind. He's not himself anymore. Better to finish the ritual and release him back to the wheel.
I kind of agree with Minea in this. At this point, letting them die would be kind of a mercy. Yeah, the voice acting is really good. Voice acting seems like an interesting job. I know me personally, I just don't have the ability to do something like that. It takes a special talent. I mean, you need to be able to do accents on demand and practice. And I can't do stuff like that. All I can do is talk like me. Yes, my character agrees with me because I am my character. My character will do as I tell him. What is it you want from me?
There is a relic, an aspergillum, it was called. What was it?
He thinks for a while with a pained expression, his lips mouthing words.
Well, it doesn't matter. It controls the floodwaters, but also the outer floodgates. Andra's Witness. That is the name. It is down here, but I don't recall how to reach it. The High Abbot knows. If you can find out from him, you could set us free. Open the gates. We would leave in peace and finish our lives in dignity.
Are you certain it's wise to release the low tide in this condition?
We are all so old now. There is little damage we could do in this state.
I don't know about that. Never underestimate the old. They sometimes have old man strength.
I don't know. We had this old fella in Gilded Vale. Looked harmless, couldn't talk, but he'd bite you if you tried to steal his steak when no one was looking.
Maybe don't try and steal his steak.
Once we are free of this place, we will be able to make memories again. The confusion and paranoia will pass.
You don't know that. The confusion and paranoia may be permanent in your psyche now. I'll see what I can do.
Use the door behind me. Safer that way.
Yeah, there is such a thing as old man strength. You don't want to mess with, you know... I hope someday I have old man strength.
Nice and quiet.
Okay, let's take a look at this doorway and see what's in here.
Dead on.
We got a fighter, a priest, a cipher, and a paladin. The priest has to die quick. Priests are the biggest danger in this game. Them and wizards.
Lava!
Actually, attack the cipher first. The cipher is more dangerous.
That shall stop us!
Okay, you're being problematic, obviously. Yeah, they're not dangerous at all. They're just flinging spells at me. Not dangerous at all.
I wonder what this is.
No danger here. Okay, let's see, there's a path there. Let's just go around here and check this area out first. Well, you know, we're right here. Let's just go in here. An acrid and pungent smell climbs up from the depths of this pit. Beyond the door, you catch glimpses of shapes in the darkness. Wails and whispers, faint and erratic, echo from within the sealed halls. I'm kind of with Minea about just finishing the ritual and killing these people. They're in such poor shape. It'd be doing them a mercy, in my opinion. But then again, who am I to make that decision as well? I'm the Tidebringer, that's who. Oh wait, I've been lying about that from the beginning, just so I could get in and stop the army that's about to wash over the land. Hell, I'm killing most of them anyways. What's a few more? But to be fair, this is all in self-defense.
I'll see what I can find.
But, wait, I didn't get to see what that said. Why is that not letting me? What does it say here? Between red handprints, a clump of hair dangles from a stain of thick coagulated blood. Okay, let's go back up this way.
I'm on the trail.
You catch the same thing. Okay, the door's sealed shut. Okay, so how do I get to this? There's obviously a lever there. Maybe I have to go through. A turbulent murmur echoes faintly from the depths of this chest.
I'm on the trail.
Let's see what the quest says. Okay, it doesn't really give me a direction one way or the other as far as preferred way of handling this. So it's up to me. It's okay, kitty. I know evil fireworks tonight, so you're nervous. You stand again before the 4 stone panels. Inspect the panels. The panels are affixed to a set of rails that curve and crisscross in patterns that remind you of seaweed. There are 4 depressions in the wall behind the rails in which panels looks like they would fit. The panels show variously a barren shore, a city in flames, a flourishing city, and a tidal wave. A range of panels. It appears that any panel can be slid into any depression by following the network of rails. Move which panel into the first empty slot. Well, I know it by title. I don't know it by picture. Shit. It's end, flood, ebb, beginning. Get out. Come on. Kira, get off the computer. She gets nervous and she wants to be near me, which is fine, but I don't want her on my computer getting all her cat fur in my computer. Let's see. City in flames. Flourishing city. So that's the end. That's the beginning. Okay. Okay, so that's the end. Then the tidal wave. And then barren shore, which is the ebb. And then the beginning. The remaining panels retract and lock into place. Behind the heavy stones, there's a metallic groan and then a steady whir. A small tile about waist high slides back. Beneath there is a carving. It shows an image of an ocean wave curled about a crescent moon. Perform the sign of the tide on the hidden carving. You curl your hand as Kaido had done and position it over the carving of the wave. Then, using your other hand, you trace the arc of the crescent with your index and little fingers. A heavy rumble stirs the ground, and from all around you comes the sound of rushing water. Looks like I might be able to get across now, because I can walk on water.
Huh?
I'm the Tidebringer, after all.
I'll see what's ahead.
Let's open this up firstly. This is a pretty cool area, this whole temple. I like the storyline to it. It's deep, man, it's deep. Embedded in the deep semicircular slab is what looks to be a vessel for the sprinkling of holy water. In this context, however, it looks more like a lever. There are images engraved on the wall behind it, one of a rising wave, one of an open gate. Open gate would free them, rising wave would kill them. I'm leaning towards what Minea said and putting them out of their misery. Becoming the Tidebringer in truth. Okay, we're doing rising wave. I'm sorry, guys. A faint trickle of water is audible at the edge of your hearing. It grows steadily into a roaring torrent. Let me go. I need to leave. I've killed most of them manually anyway since they attacked me. Human voices echo through the stone halls, pleading, gurgling, screaming. Why, don't make me feel like a monster. These people were terrified and suffering, and there was no good outcome to this. And then silence. With a click, the machine releases its hold on the strange rod. You pack the vessel away.
They chose this life. You ended their misery. It's hard to
Exactly.
feel like we did right.
Exactly. We ended their misery. To be fair, I had killed most of them already since they attacked me. Why do I still hear walking if they're all dead or drowned? I do hear walking, which is strange. Oh, there's one person I drowned. There's another. So I only drowned a handful of people. Doing a service, you know, since they were suffering so bad. Okay, we're going to use this campfire because my guys are actually... some of them are halfway on health. Okay, so let's go ahead and go out to the cliffs because I want to see where that takes us. You return to the precipice of a fissure that reaches down into the mountainside. Wind wails up to you from its depths, and an enormous ice-encrusted skeletal hand still looms over the gap. With only the ominous moaning of the crevice to disturb your thinking, you consider your options. Inspect the area. Considering the span of the gap and the position of the skeletal hand, you believe a well-placed grappling hook would allow you to reach the other side. Though positioning the hook may be tricky, the winds are not so strong that they would endanger attempts to cross. Cast the grappling hook. The middle finger is a large target, but it sits in the middle of buffeting winds that threatens to blow the rope and grapple off course. Whoever casts the grappling hook will need nimble fingers to ensure a good throw. As you ponder the difficulty of the throw, the wind momentarily abates, becoming little more than eerie murmurs whispering far below you. Who will cast the hook? Sagani. Sagani dangles the grapple cautiously, waiting to release the rope during a lull in the gusting wind. During a quiet moment, Ponzeric swings the grapple back and begins to rock the weight forward for a toss. What? I thought Sagani was going to do it. Just before the release, a blast of air erupts from the crevice. Ponzeric flinches, sending the grapple off course. It slams into the great skeletal ulna with a cracking sound that you can barely hear over the wind. Ponzeric quickly spools the rope back up from the depths to recover the grapple. Dexterity 18. Let's cast your grappling hook. Have Aloth do it. Aloth times the throw perfectly between chaotic gusts whipping up from the crevice. The grappling hook cuts an odd path through the expanse of violent air, the attached rope trailing behind in a bizarre spiral. Despite its odd course, the grapple eventually sails over the middle finger, its rope winding securely around the frozen bone. Ponzeric gives it 2 tugs and is confident it won't budge. Swing across the chasm. You take a firm hold on the rope and swing across the crevice, Indiana Jones style. Despite high winds and an unsettling creaking from the enormous ice-encrusted finger, you safely reach the other side. You stand at the edge of a crevice you traversed with the help of grappling hook and a conveniently located giant skeletal hand. Okay, so not really anywhere new then. So now we have to go back and talk to Keota. It's gonna suck if the real person the council selected as Tidebringer shows up. That's gonna put me in an awkward position. Does it really matter, though, if I was selected or not? I performed the duties assigned to the Tidebringer great. I performed them all accurately according to Andra's scriptures and the temple's wills. So they shouldn't care. Uh-oh. Fireworks time. Panic animal time. We have our dog in a thunder jacket to try and keep her calm. We'll see how that works. We've used it before, but it's always been, hit or miss whether it works or not. She's on her tranquilizers as well, which we have for just such an occasion from the vet. But yeah, our animals do not like New Year's Eve and 4th of July. It's pretty much a no-sleep night for us because the animals won't let us because they panic. And just as you think you'll be able to get some sleep, more fireworks happen. Why is he lagging behind? He must have gotten stuck on something. Okay, save our game. We performed the Rising admirably. Killed a bunch of people. A mercy killing.
Is it done then? And do you have the witness?
Give Andres witness. It is done.
I know what it is, to use that relic to call the flood. Even though it is necessary, even though it is merciful.
Yeah?
It will stay with you. Always.
Yep.
One day it will be a new Tidebringer's turn to call the flood, when I am down there. And then another for you.
Oh, I'm not the real Tidebringer. After I finish you guys off, I'm out of here.
Only then will we be free of it. Free of the memory.
He nods and puts a hand on your shoulder. The touch is tentative, and he withdraws his hand almost immediately.
Come, meet me upstairs outside the reliquary. There is one more thing to be done to complete the Rising.
Uh-oh, he's taking a party. I wonder if I... Well, it's not a matter of killing the old one to replace the new. Or else, the old one wouldn't have been down in the lower... so, reliquary. There we are. I'm not sure if that was a firework or if that was thunder. Maybe we'll get lucky and a thunderstorm will come in and put a damper on things. I shouldn't be selfish like that. Let people have their 1 or 2 nights of fireworks a year. We'll deal with a panicked puppy. I say puppy, but she's 10-ish. She'll always be our puppy.
The Vale of Tears is only to be crossed by the High Abbot. Andres' witness is the key. Through the Vale is the reliquary. When we are done here, pass into the reliquary, and your responsibilities will be revealed to you. The final step of the Rising requires that you use Andres' witness to seal me below with my brothers and sisters.
High Abbot Caedo? He snaps out of his trance.
Forgive me. The Rising. The final step.
He clears his throat.
A slight correction. You will not be sealing us in the halls of silence.
The other Andrites look at each other with furrowed brows.
What? After all that?
The only way I will allow you to become the High Abbot is if you can kill me, and those who stand with me, here and now.
That wasn't what you said earlier.
I have made up my mind. Have you ever swum in the open ocean, Tidebringer?
I don't see what this has to do with anything.
When you swim in the ocean, you are at the mercy of the current and the waves. It requires a great deal of trust. When I was a young man in Rawatai, I would paddle out in a small kayak.
I knew I was going to fight him. I knew it.
One day, when I was swimming, I was caught in a rip current and pulled miles from my boat. I stayed afloat long as I could, but there was no getting to safety. It was night, and the water was black. I took a final breath and sunk below the surface. Then there came a glow beneath me. It was a moon ray the size of a caravel, if you can imagine such a creature. I saw it swimming up toward me, and even as things began to grow dark around me, I knew I was safe. I awoke on shore. That day, I pledged myself to Andra, because I knew she had seen me safely through, and that she always would. The glow of that moon ray has always been a beacon in my life. If I am sealed beneath, I will be forced to part with it.
We could have come to an accord if you had just told me
that
this
make me
ahead of
what I
time.
am.
I didn't have to kill the people below.
I will die, afraid and alone.
What about everything you said? About trusting Andra, surrendering your memories to her?
I thought I would be ready. My trust in Andra was absolute. But I am weaker than I imagined. I will defeat you and stay on as High Abbot, or I will die here, knowing who I am. Either would be better.
You others who stand with Keota, are you so cowardly, or will you be true to your faith? No one responds, but a few of the monks exchange looks. You seem to have made an impact, at least with some of them. Keota turns to them.
I have seen what lies in store. I do not wish that fate for any of you. Let us serve Andra in other ways.
Most of the Andrites nod. A few are non-committal. Keota turns back and locks eyes with you. Come, one final test, Tidebringer. Okay, so a Faith Binder, a Mind Gazer, and a Tidal Fist. Mind Gazer does not sound good. Put him on him. Knock him down. Put her on him, the Tidal Fist. Put him on him. Actually, we'll use the weak spells first. Put her on him. Okay. Everybody has a job to do except for him. I wasn't expecting that guy. Okay, time to unleash hell. Next. High Abbot Cato duplicate. Doesn't really give me much choice.
On your side.
Robes of the Tidebringer.
Huh?
Okay, so light armor. Medium, heavy, light, 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 light. So we got 4 light wears. Grants Martyr on unconscious. They're all pretty good. I'm inclined to maybe replace hers. That will give a lot of defense against Charmed, Confused, and Dominated stacks, so I think I will give it to her. He doesn't get hit that often. Neither does she. Okay, I think that's good. See if we can enchant it. Of Might 2. Slash proofed.
Yeah.
Examine the skull. Find out how to call off the army. Examine what skull? Water flows upward from a thin slit that cuts along the tiles of the floor. The water swells and condenses when touched, forming an elastic barrier that resists any attempts. The skull must be past that now. That skull. Gotcha. I should have figured it'd be the big creature
Light,
skull.
flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
I shall be discreet.
We're gonna wait to examine the skull, but we're gonna explore first. Let's go ahead and save also. I don't want to go in there yet, because I want to finish this map off, so...
Nice and quiet.
A goddess who buys faith by hiding secrets is sure to have a few of her own. We should not be surprised.
The cracks on this jawbone suggest that a forceful blow separated it from its skull. The strange crystal formations of this rock, intact even after their collision against the thick bones of the giant skull, seem to radiate with a warmth of their own. Okay, so there's 2 doors. Judging by the distance to the nearby skull, a tremendous force severed this vertebrae from the rest of its giant body. The structure behind this giant ribcage appears to have been built around it. Okay, so we got a door there to the Hall of Penance, and then stairs up here. Let's look at the stairs.
I'll see what I can find.
Okay, that's just stairs up. So let's examine the skull first. Lodged between rows of crystalline rock, a large fragment of metal protrudes. It looks as though it might be possible to pry it loose. Pull out the metal fragment. At your touch, the splinter of metal begins to glow orange. Heat surges up your hands and arms and envelops you with such intensity you feel as though you are melting down. The heat spreads to the world around you, turns it orange and then yellow and then white. The ground, the sky, everything around you drips in molten globs and begins to take shape beneath you as if an invisible mold. You and the shard are the last things to melt and fall, and your addition to the molten pool completes the shape of an immense hammer. The metal cools as quickly as it had heated. The handle is gripped now by 2 great leathery hands, and the hammer is cocked back over a shoulder as broad and molted as a hilltop. The wielder whirls around and heaves the hammer, and you are flying upward for what seems like ages into the airless blackness above. As you spin, you catch glimpses of a rock large enough to be a moon. It is close, far too close to the world. The force of the impact shatters hammer and stone alike. The rock is redirected outward, but a section of the front face is cleaved off and begins to fall, splintering apart at the cracks. In 100,000 fragments blossoming outward in all directions, debris showers the atmosphere, trailing smoke and fire. Below, land and sea are far off, but gradually rising up. Look to the sea. The largest of the fragments, wide as a city, barrels downward in a fiery cocoon. Its size reduces as the edges immolate, but it won't burn up in time. It lands silently in the distant ocean, sending a column of water skyward and radiating ripples that spread like wrinkles in fabric. Then the sound comes tearing up through the sky. It sounds like thunder. Look to the land. Features are becoming clearer by the moment as you streak towards the earth. You are lodged in an enormous boulder, falling among other smaller fragments that heat and burst around you on all sides. Beneath you, snow-capped mountains. What is this, Armageddon all of a sudden? Abaddon, instead of Bruce Willis's crew going up to destroy the asteroid before it hit the planet, Abaddon threw his hammer at the asteroid, thereby saving the world, but still causing there still being massive damage, just not a world ender. This is the plot of Armageddon in Pillars of Eternity. Beneath you, snow-capped mountains rise up, dotted here and there by cities of stone and Adra. The impact will be the destruction of all of them. The shadow of your rock fragment is visible now, getting larger by the second. You are moments away from striking the ground when a massive shape throws itself into your path. The last thing you hear sounds like another rumbling impact, but that isn't what it is. It's a chuckle, relieved, breathless. You hear 2 words. Made it. Everything goes dark. You open your eyes. The metal hammer fragment has come free, and you now hold it in your hands. It is warm to the touch. The air around you is suddenly turbulent, spiteful. A cold, damp wind whips your face. Salt crystals collect in your nostrils and the creases of your eyes. The floor below you becomes blue-gray and glassy, churning and rolling, and when you fall, you crash through water. Violent waves hurl and spin you. Something slithers around your ankles, seizes you with incredible strength, drags you down into the salty depths. When the pulling stops, you are hovering at the center of an endless blue abyss. You can see neither surface nor floor. You seem to be facing downward, but there is no way to be sure. A voice sounds from everywhere at once, and the immense pressure wave of each utterance sends you reeling.
Deceitful wretch! Grave robber! You who dig for that which you did not bury. Speak! Explain yourself and be judged.
I seek a means of defeating an army that threatens my lands.
You seek what is mine! What was rightfully lost!
The outburst propels you, sending you end over end.
Your actions speak for themselves. The battery opened. The forge ignited. You set free souls that hid from me. That stole from me and evaded my judgment. The dwarves sealed their own fate. The forge was meant to be forgotten. And now, here you are again, denying peace to the buried.
The turbulence around you calms. Silt settles like a slow exhaltation, and the vast dark seascape beyond the murk fades in. Rays of light trickle down from far above onto green gold columns of kelp that rise from the depths and sway back and forth in the current. Fish and mollusks patrol them in groups of hundreds and thousands. The nearest pass you with watchful eyes. The army that destroyed the dwarves, the Eyeless, are they yours?
What the world casts aside, I take into my care. A thing may be forgotten, but it is never alone as long as I am here. They were lost children, abandoned, fixed on a purpose that no longer had meaning. I took them in, gave them new purpose. I did not create them, but yes, they are mine.
They are Abaddon's. I saw them forged.
They were his once. I won't deny it. He created them as assistants to carry out his work on Eora. But he has long been the overseer of progress in the world. Leaving things behind has always been his way. I allow him to leave his past in my care, so that it does not hold him back.
You and Abaddon have a unique connection, then.
I suppose we do. But then, the gods have always been able to accomplish far greater things when working together.
I had something else to discuss about the Eyeless.
Speak your mind.
What new purpose did you give them?
Some things that are forgotten must never be remembered. Not merely for the benefit of those who forgot, but for the entire world. There can be no second thoughts, no sympathy or stays of execution. The Eyeless were born to fulfill this task, though even their creator did not know it.
You mean they
are
kill...
single-minded
sorry.
and relentless.
You mean they kill those who remember what you want forgotten?
They do not flinch when called upon to do what is necessary. Kith owe them a great debt for the troubles they have hidden away.
I want to ask you about something else.
You may ask.
What do you mean the Forge is meant to be forgotten?
It was never meant for mortal use. Such power, such truths lie within it. It can bring only ruin. When the Pargrunin came to the White March, they were peaceful. They shared common beliefs and purpose. Their visions for the Forge tore them apart. You have seen this for yourself. They would have destroyed themselves in the end.
How convenient that we'll never know.
You need only look to the history of your own civilization for assurance.
What about free will, bitch?
How many wars, how many fallen empires might have been averted if only their leaders could forget the objects of their ambition? I mourned the loss of the Pargrunin. Misfortune brought them here. They did not deserve to end so soon.
What does it matter if something is remembered or forgotten? It's in the past in either case.
Memories are the spirits of the past. You of all people should know their sway on the present, Watcher.
They are ours to bear whether we care to or not.
Mortals measure the worth of their lives in memory. Who will remember me? How long until I am forgotten? Memory governs every thought, informs every choice. It can fuel passion, understanding, love, or it can create obsession, madness. You have seen it plague many souls in your travels. Consider the old Watcher who inherited unspeakable crimes from birth, or the young woman who committed herself to Brackenbury for love of things she remembered she had, or the fisherman whose life became a sentence the day he killed his sister, or the Glonfathen boy for whom an old medallion was worth more than all the fruits of his labors. They could be free from their burdens, if only they could forget.
Their burdens exist for a reason. Why should they be allowed to forget?
Many such people gain these burdens through no fault of their own. Others act to redeem themselves only to find their memories will not forgive them.
Your regrets shape you just like all other things. The light filtering down from the surface seems to focus on Minea.
Would your life not have a better course, Amawa, if the faults of another lifetime were not dragging you down?
I used to think so. But turning your back on something doesn't make it go away. Just makes it easier for someone to stick a knife in your spine.
The source of those wounds is long gone. The memory was all that could do you harm.
There was value. Responsibility runs deeper than memory.
Responsibility is another word for guilt. For those who have made amends or were born with the burdens of others, should they not be freed, even when problems have run their course? Memory can be the stone that sinks you into the abyss.
I'm still not sure I agree, but no matter.
Your past has not overwhelmed you yet. Wait. Was there something else, mortal?
What are the bones of one god doing sealed in the temple of another?
Do not play coy with a god, Watcher. I know you have seen his death. I feel it whenever a forgotten thing is taken from me.
Oh, the fireworks are really kicking up now because darkness is... Well, it's not even that dark out yet.
Abydon did not deserve to die here. This place, it was the least I could do to give his remains some privacy.
The least you could do?
The least I could do for ending his life.
Light drains from your surroundings. The kelp forest becomes a copse of black tendrils, stark and twisted as regret.
I called the moon down to me. Ione brother. It was against his wishes. He would not listen to reason. Would not listen to me. In his madness, he splintered the moon. But it was not enough. The greatest of the fragments still fell toward that which he would protect. In the end, he took position where it would fall, and absorbed the impact himself.
I thought Belefa and Kalda were the moons.
Ione brother is their smaller sibling, tiny next to them.
Small enough that the world would survive its impact. But why the temple? Why the secrecy?
That time has been forgotten now, and so his death belongs to me. Everything he was before the impact.
But you slew another god. Surely the other gods know this. Surely Abaddon must know. Current surges through the kelp bed, pushing each plant sideways like saplings in a hurricane, and propelling... Oh, hi, Panicloo. I like your thunder jacket. It's very pretty. Panic Lilo. Terrorize Lilo. Lay down, Lilo. Propelling you backward amidst a torrent of wayward fish.
No! He cannot know! He must never know! Understand, he was not always as he is now. His body was not all he left behind.
Hi.
He was devoted to progress and industry from the beginning. But so too was he devoted to preservation. In those times he would let nothing go. Nothing could be forgotten. His will was iron long before his body.
Preservation, so that was why he went so far to oppose you.
We agreed long ago, all of us, not to alter the course of Kith's civilization. Not directly. Not unless there were no other choice. But in this matter, there was no other choice. He understood that as well as anyone. It was for duty that he opposed it. I would have stopped it if I could, but by then it was too late.
What was it he was trying to preserve?
Time has finished much of what I started. I cannot tell you that, mortal, for fear of undoing all its costly work.
You make it sound as though you were the sane one.
The other gods knew what had to be done, but they lacked the will to go through with it. Even gods have their attachments. To erase all knowledge of such a grand thing required unthinkable devastation. The Eastern Reach, Deadfire. Mine was the only solution. When I called down Ione Brother, they remained silent. Even Abaddon. He knew it was for the best, but he tried to stop it all the same. Perhaps deep down I knew he would. I should have expected it. I could have stopped it.
I want to ask you about something
You
else.
may ask.
Why did you pull down Ione Brother?
The great conundrum of a god is how close to become with your subjects. Too far and they lose hope. Too close and your own judgment fails. Civilizations are meant to ebb and flow. Allow them to persist for too long in power or knowledge, and you invite catastrophe. There was a time when we let our sympathies get the better of us. When memories were allowed to persist that should have been washed away. The other gods could not be moved to act. I did what had to be done without them.
You're talking about the Ingwithians.
I speak of what is forgotten. I failed that day, but my purpose was achieved in the end. I will not dredge up the memory to satisfy idle curiosity.
I need you to call off the Eyeless.
On the contrary, mortal, their work must continue. Far too much was uncovered while they lay dormant.
They draw attention to the very thing you wish hidden. In my dreams, I've seen them swarming over the Deerwood.
Those who know too much of the White Forge will be washed clean from Eora. And then the Eyeless shall rest once more.
This isn't some lone tribe of dwarves. The Forge sees visitors from all over now. The Eyeless will tear the Deerwood apart. It will never be forgotten. The sea life around you stirs back and forth, agitated, restless.
Even if it is as you say, there is nothing that can be done. The Eyeless do not think for themselves. They have only the purpose that is given to them. They do not stop until the purpose is fulfilled. They will not change course now for me or anyone. I am sorry.
Kato said they could be called off.
Only if those they pursue are no longer a threat. The Raid Sarens were stopped before they could take the White Forge. In your case, Watcher, you are well beyond that now. And if what you say is true, then the Deerwood is as well.
This was your doing. You must intervene.
The interventions of gods seldom work out in anyone's favor. Our touch is too heavy. The world crumbles beneath it. It is why we so often enlist the help of mortals. They execute our wishes with greater care. I have done far too much already.
And as always, it falls to the Watcher. If you won't stop them, then I will.
Your determination is commendable. But the Eyeless number in the thousands. You will need more than strength or luck.
Rational or stoic is my character. I'm leaning towards stoic. It may cost me life, but I will do what I must.
I will give you what aid I can. I bade the Eyeless to remain hidden when at rest. They are gathered in the hollow of a great rock, splintered from Ione Brother. It lies in a flooded crater known as Kairon's Scar. Know, too, that they were built to answer the call of their master's hammer. When they hear it strike, they come to its aid. If you were to take that piece of his hammer from here and reshape it in Abaddon's forge into a likeness of the original, you might be able to call them to you. But destroying them would be another matter. I know of one way, but only from the center of the Lion's Den. Only with their master's hammer in your service.
I thought I was going to finish the DLC, but it looks like I have another quest line and zone to do.
If you can do all this, If you can reshape what remains of Abaddon's hammer and bring it inside their lair, I can instruct you there on what you would need to do.
I will do what I can.
And I will see you through when the time comes.
I will remake the hammer in the White Forge and stop the Eyeless.
If you do not, be assured, they will come for you as they did for the Pargrunen.
An uneasy turbulence disturbs the calm like an unwelcome thought.
Careful as you approach the lake. When I claimed the Eyeless, I made sure they would not be discovered while they slept. Many of my most devoted followers stand watch there. They will not allow you near. And there is something far worse. Something more fearsome and dangerous than any Eyeless. Let us hope you do not attract its attention.
What is it? In place of an answer, a sudden surge in the current from beneath sends you hurtling upward. The surface above you approaches fast, shifting and glimmering like quicksilver. It's a dragon. I guarantee it's a dragon. You emerge soaking wet on the stone floor of the reliquary, gasping for breath as if you'd been holding it for hours. Guaranteed it's a dragon. I know, Panic Leelu. Okay, so we have a couple doors. Let's just check them out and see where they lead. We also have some stairs. I thought we were done with the DLC. I really thought this temple was the last thing. It's continuing on. Never-ending DLC goes on forever. I know, Leelu. It's okay. Okay, let's out there. Which I couldn't go in before. It's good to know. Let's check out the other door and then we'll go up those stairs. I know. It's okay. Come here. You want a pet? No? Once I check out these rooms, I'll go ahead and call it a stream so I could take care of the panicked puppy. Panic Leelu. But I want to finish at least this map, exploring this map. So that way, tomorrow I could just finish up the DLC and maybe the rest of the side quests. Oh, Panic Leelu. I know. Your thunder jacket seems to be doing well, though. You don't look like you're shivering. It helps that you're being held tight by your own jacket. Yeah? Okay, so that's where that leads. It's all come together. So let's check out these stairs. I'm really close to wrapping this game up. 3 side quests in the old world, which I should out-level now. The 2 quests in the DLC. Okay, so this is just a fast travel out. Travel directly to the Foundry in Durgan's Battery. Let's go ahead and reforge the hammer. We've fully explored that map. Everything is done at the Fallen Abbey. Incredible heat ripples upward from the white forge and laps against your exposed skin. The fragment of Abaddon's hammer grows warm in your hands, as if in recognition. It is only a fraction of the size of the original, but there's metal enough to create a hammer fit for a person of your size to wield. In this forge, the fragment could be shaped anew. Recreate Abaddon's hammer. You call to mind every memory you have witnessed of the great hammer. The images coalesce and take shape in your mind's eye. You know every curve, every engraving. Even as a shapeless lump of metal, you can see the fragment for what it is meant to become. The fragment is slow to heat, even in the white forge, and quick to cool as you work it against the anvil. Sweat drizzles down your body and puddles at your feet. Your arms grow sore with each swing of your forge hammer until you can barely lift it. Minutes turn to hours. As Abaddon's hammer begins to take shape, the ring of your own hammer against it takes on a familiar tone, one that you have heard in your dreams. With each strike, an image flashes in your mind. It is hazy at first, but it gains details as the hammer begins to resemble the original. Over time, the image becomes a frozen landscape centered around a crater lake. Eyeless patrol its frozen surface in droves, and this can only be the place Ander described, Kayran's Scar. The eyeless pause here and there when you strike and look up, as though hearing the echo on the wind. In the distance, as more details appear, you can see other landmarks. Stalwart, Durgan's Battery, and you understand where the lake lies in the White March, where you must take this hammer. Finally, with a careful etching of the last detail of your chisel, the hammer is completed. No sooner do you make the final mark than you feel pure radiant energy pulsing from within it like a mechanical heartbeat. There's an indescribable beauty to the shape and the weight in the design. It feels as if this is the realization of the metal's purpose. You take up the hammer and its power rushes over you in waves, and it shakes your body so hard you nearly drop to your knees. The tremor passes, but the surge of power remains. The hair on your arm stands on end. In your hands is a faithful recreation of a divine instrument.
I've heard enough.
The sounds of an argument reach you from the stairs. Darian marches into the rooms, arms crossed, while Wengra bounds along behind him.
This threatens all of us now.
Matron Berrigan lumbers after Darian and Wengra, flanked by two stout ogres.
She's right. We've got to fight together.
You also recognize Edric following them. His shoulders are rigid, his arms are clasped in front of him. Wengra sees you and points enthusiastically.
See, Darian? He'll tell you. We can stop him!
Tension crackles in the air. Darian whirls and cuts Wengra off with a chopping motion.
If he's seen them, he knows better.
What's going on
Something
here?
killed a whole crew of hunters out in the wood. Tore them apart like dolls, insects.
Despite his steady posture, his eyes flit and flicker like flies, and his upper lip shines with sweat.
Something like the creatures that attacked my fort, perhaps?
Berrigan mutters something to her escort, and they snort in agitation.
I told ya! All we gotta do is get him in range of these cannons, and then we blast them!
She brings her hands together in a loud clap.
We don't even know what they are!
He shuts his eyes and breathes loudly through his nose. I do. Everyone turns to look at you. They're known as the Eyeless.
The destruction my dreams warned me of.
Berrigan's gaze is distant with horror. Suddenly she rounds on Wengra and Darren.
And your greed and recklessness have brought them on us all!
She rolls her shoulders back and bares her teeth at the two villagers. Rage hangs around her like a musk. Darian and Wengra each take a step back and square off against the ogres.
You burning our village didn't help matters none.
Wengra's feral grimace exposes needle-sharp teeth.
It wasn't my clan that attacked you.
No difference. One ogre stinks as bad as the next.
Calm down, everyone. None of that matters now. Darian and Wengra grumble, shifting on their feet and glaring suddenly. After a pause, Berrigan looks back at you.
I came to offer my clan's help.
The others gawk at her.
The White March has been our home for centuries. We'll defend it alongside you.
The ogres flanking her grunt their assent. Your aid would be welcome, diplomatic. She presents an ancient banded horn in both of her calloused hands, holding it out to you.
Sound it anywhere in the White March, and 3 of my best warriors will be at your side. Your battles become ours.
What's your plan for dealing with them exactly?
The eyeless are hidden at Carrion's Scar. I'll face them there. Wenger and Darien gape at each other in disbelief.
That lake's notorious. Folk never come back from that.
She breaks off, her eyes suddenly wide.
Oh!
You'll need all the help you can get. I have fewer men to offer than I would like, but the Iron Flail stands ready. Our siege weapons are at your disposal.
The same ones you threw at the battery's walls?
These eyeless will come for us all if they aren't stopped here and now.
Forget it. You're not bringing your army into our backyard.
He looks to you and nods.
Tell him.
Edric's right. We need to work together. It's no time to worry about what's past. Darien.
Guess you're right. Won't be anything left of Stalwart if we don't stop these monsters anyway.
He looks down at the spot his heel is ground into the grit. We'll assemble at Carrion's Scar and await your orders. Be ready, my friend. It will be a great battle. Edric bows slightly and steps away.
Ahem.
An awkward silence follows. Wenger clears her throat noisily.
You know, those heavy cannons you fixed might come in handy.
She grins, a mischievous twinkle in her eye. Darien starts to groan, and she holds up both hands.
Hey, hear me out. Carrion's Scar should be just in range for those guns. You just point out your target, and I'll do the rest.
If those things are on the move, we don't have much time. If you're really gonna stop them, take this. It's the best of the ore we've pulled from Stalwart's mines.
He gives you a solemn nod.
It's not much, but it's good enough to make the old Pargrunen Smiths proud. I'm sorry about what I said before. Just don't take it out on the rest of the village.
He looks away. I got all sorts of buffs. You may call upon the aid of Crag Odors by using Berrigan's Battlehorn and Carrion's Scar. You can call for the Reteran's aid by using the Burning Pitch Trebuchet ability in Carrion's Scar. Hello? Oh, the button's down there. That was dangerous. The button was off screen. Let me look at this hammer. Legendary, 15 accuracy, 55 damage, 4 might. Am I set up to make most use of a hammer? Let's see. Yes, I am. Warhammer. Is this a Warhammer? It is a Warhammer. So we're going to keep that on him. But we are going to bind this to him as well. Grants Destroy Eyeless on critical hit. Grants Ring of the Ancient Forge, 1 per encounter. Grants Abaddon's Labor, 1 per encounter.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so I got a new... I can't enchant that. Already been white forged. Already been white forged. Has not been white forged. Let's see, who else do we have? Already been white forged. Has not been white forged. Needs 2 for that weapon anyways. I'm not... Oh, it always requires 2 refined Durgan ingots. Oh, that one doesn't. Durgan refined weapon. Oh, two-handers require 2 ingots. Okay, gotcha. So let's go ahead and enchant hers then. She's going to be a powerhouse of damage now.
Yeah.
Hans Eric was granted heavy cannon blast. Where though? The battle horn will bring the ogres. Let's just travel out and see if that'll... The frames per second's tanked because I had to alt-tab out and this game doesn't handle it well. As soon as I load, it should fix it. Go to the Great Hall. Leave. Yeah, Great Hall. I don't want to go straight to Carrion Scar. I'll save that for tomorrow. I can't reach you, Vivo. Too far away. It's a cool hammer. I kind of want to take a look at the damage difference. 25 to 36. 26 to 38, so the damage is a little better, but it's going to slaughter the eyeless. Oh, I heard it too, Lilo. She's sitting in her bed. She's not running around panicking. I'm almost done, Wild.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. We knew this was going to happen. When I'm done, she'll probably follow me out of the room.
Adair, you were a military man. Ever consider making a career of it?
I still don't see how to call the cannons.
I did for a while. Then I heard you could make money shoveling pig shit, and thought that sounded better.
Well, at least it would get you out of the Deerwood.
Hey.
I'm here.
What?
How may I help?
Ready, Watcher.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna save and call it there. It looks like tomorrow we'll definitely wrap up the DLC. There's no way it goes past this point. No way. I thought they would save it for, you know, the Eyeless thing for another game, but apparently not. They're gonna make us do it now. So, I appreciate everybody who stopped by, chatted for a bit. I'm gonna go huddle in fear along with the puppy, protect her from the evil fireworks. Y'all have a good evening and happy 4th of July. Pons Eric out.